Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Breakthrough Blueprint, where we talk to entrepreneurs about how they became successful today. And I have with me my amazing friend Stella, and I'll hand it over to her to introduce herself.
Hey Mel, thanks for inviting me. This is Stella. I'm the CEO and founder of Eno. Eno, it's a software company selling project management software to contractors. So that's a short things to begin with. I'll let you ask questions.
That's awesome. So, how did you get started? Like, why did you decide to choose this niche?
Oh my God, it's a long story, but I keep it short. It's like I grew up in China, came here when I was 16 by myself. So in China, my parent runs like this concrete factories. I grew up in a concrete factory, like those like concrete cards. So my parents started entrepreneur in China that give me like inspirations. I always wanted to start my own company someday. And then so when I came to US and graduated after that, I started my a few ideas, but why I landed to this idea was like 2019. I bought my own house and did a renovation myself. And I feel like, oh my God, the process is so painful, right? You just don't know who's the better person to choose. You have no idea what the construction process is. So there was like tons of like pain point I hit. So I decided to start this like kind of like a management service companies, helping the homeowners to connect to the contractors. So we did 2019, we did like around like couple hundred projects. We hit like around 30 million GMV. However, that was like 2019. However, like to a point, just really hard to scale, especially like 2023. I think like the interest has gone like crazy
Mm,
increases so many times. And then so the CAC becomes really high. And also like, there is a challenge of like also selling it, delivering it. And then just like there's so much operation and it's not like linear scale. It's like when you
hmm
hit certain point, it just becomes like exponentially harder. So and we're like also seeing some of the partner company that have the similar business model all went bankrupt. So I was like, oh my God, this route cannot work. So I pivoted the company to a SaaS company to like in 2024, almost the end of 2024. So we just basically like shut down all the service side of things, but be able to convert our internal tool as a like a SaaS product and selling to support those like smaller contractor companies to run their own business. So that's
hmm
how right now it transitioned to like the SaaS business model, but it has like so many transitions.
hmm Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I completely understand. Like, as a founder, you have to pivot, so you have to try something, and if it doesn't work, got to keep keep iterating.
Yeah. I mean, the during the time of like the running this like services, I
hmm
just see so many different type of people and also deal with so many like crazy things. You have no idea. And I was like so happy when I pivot to SaaS because I feel like, okay, even though like selling is a little bit harder, but once you
hmm
sell, there's recurring revenue, right? It's not like service business you sell and then like it's only one
hmm
time.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, recurring revenue is best. So, do you have a business partner in this or are you doing it yourself?
I there's also a couple round of partners. I think it's just like a right life, right? You
Mhm.
walk on a one row along the path. There's different people joins you.
Mhm.
Um, but when I before I started this service company, like back in 2019, I was working at a company called Wish. It's a startup. Went to IPO later. I had some colleague was like, we were bootstrapping that idea and they're saying like, oh, let's quit and then start this companies. From there are some people drop off. They don't want to quit like the corporate life.
Mhm.
So, and then like, but for the people quit and then like later I fundraised it, also like got some co-founder with me. That was like, so 2019 to 2024, I had like the other like two co-founders. Like one guy is like contractors. The other guy is like running the product stuff. But then like when we decide to pivot, I guess people, they might be also burned out a little bit as well. So we're just like parts away, still in a good term. And then like now I basically just made me in the company and I hired new people, which is bringing the new blood to the company.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah. Hey, gotta gotta change people out and bring in that fresh
Yeah.
blood and fresh ideas,
Yeah.
energy.
I think it's really important because especially when you pivot, because I feel like at the time, those ex co-founder, they're also like friends, right? You guys been through a lot of things together. When during the pivot, the hard part is you don't know where to go. You don't
Mhm.
know whether which path we should take. So a lot of times we're like, okay, the old business model is like sinking. We need to make a decision soon. And if you have like your co-founder have a different ideas, it's just really hard to push to one direction.
Yeah,
So and then he also got like a little bit burned out and frustrated. So I think the two people just like if the old team have the same energy is really hard to get out of that circle. So we had to just like part away. But after that, it's actually good because like once people part away, you just like I can do the things I wanted. So and then the new people that I hire, they're very excited because they never seen the failure we had it before, so they can just bring some new idea. And I really, I think I really appreciated my current team. My CTO currently later joined the team. He's like very excited for any little success. He was like really cheerful for us. But for me, it's actually really hard because I seen the numbers gone for like 30 million to now like selling SaaS is like a little bit, right? It's hard to get that cheerful moments, but the new eyes come in and see it differently. And that's really important, I think, during that pivot time.
definitely. Yeah, having that fresh perspective and energy and people being able to celebrate your wins, I think
Yeah.
that's great.
And like I'm the Asian. Asian is like really hard to get crazy or get cheerful on something. I always think like, it's not enough. It's not enough. So it's really important to get some different culture to sharing a different perspective.
Exactly, exactly. I love that. Wow, so now that you pivoted to SaaS, like, how are you guys advertising? Do you go to, like, trade shows or
Yeah, so to be honest, like the first year after we decided to pivot, we did not do any advertising because like the product is not ready yet, even though we had the tool for internal uses like during those like service period, but it's not a product that we can sell to people. So basically the first year we were like talking to people and then built features. All the customer we sell, the first patch is really just like a one-to-one talking. And the
Mhm.
people we met at the conference or whatever, we did not do any advertising because like it's just not a functional product and we don't want to waste money there. So the first 100 people, like 100 company we gain is pretty much just the conference and then like book demo meeting and then talk to them and then like knowing what they want and then we build and show them and then again like that process.
Mm,
It's just until recently we started doing some like performance ads because before I work at Wish, I was the first person work on the marketing side. I lead their entire performance marketing. So that part is not hard to me, but it burns a lot of money, right?
yeah.
So until your product is really like functional and you will start seeing not that many trends because of the feature gap or something,
Mhm.
now we start turning on some of the campaigns, but slowly, gradually.
Got you. Okay, interesting. Wow, that's cool that you have a marketing background. That definitely helps when you're building your own company.
Maybe, but it's actually it helps to understand, but I feel like I also have a high standard when I see the
Mhm.
other marketing person to come and do stuff, and it's really hard for me to find a good marketing person too.
Mm,
I would say it definitely helped to kick off a little bit. But every CEO has to know a little bit like every side of things, marketing,
yeah.
engineer, or sales, or any type of thing. So um,
That's awesome. So are you planning on going to any trade shows in, like, the next coming months or
yeah, I'm actually flying out next Tuesday to another trade show. So basically, the trade show is still the by far the most effective way. Like
Mhm.
their quality just way higher than other channel because like it's different when people seeing you in person
Yeah.
just build up the trust naturally. So I feel like for anyone that's like just starting their business, like SaaS business or whatsoever, trade show is definitely the to go channel. Um and also like so we pretty much go to every month for a trade show. Um yeah, and then the customers that's is the best quality from those.
Yeah, that makes sense, and I'm sure especially for your industry, right, it's not 'Cause as far as I know, 'cause people have approached me about, like, using LinkedIn for construction, but it's not really on LinkedIn.
Wait. Yeah, for us, the contractors, like, you can't they
Mhm,
don't really check LinkedIn, right? Or, yeah, so I think, like, based on your ICP or audience,
mhm,
you need to figure out what's the best channel. So for us, like, conference and also, like, trade show, like, and also we do a lot of SMS campaign. We build that SMS, like, send
mhm,
those could be really helpful. Um Yeah, but not so much of in terms of like cold email. I mean,
mhm.
it's some, but really, really low effect for
Yeah,
us. Yeah.
definitely. Interesting. So how are you leveraging AI in your business?
I don't know if it's like suppose I can share on
Hey, whatever you're comfortable in sharing. If it's just ChatGPT, that's fine.
yeah, I mean, like, no, I'm happy to share, but it's just like doing really like things that's like not really, very scrappy stuff.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
sometimes I will put a lot of, like, basically buying the software very limited seats because I pretty much, like, for example, put every demo call on one calendar and then just using one, for example, AI account to, like, get all the meeting transcript and then, like, analyzing and then, like, sending like, emails or analyze. And
mhm,
so we're doing a lot of, like, market research or kinda, like, analysis, customer call analysis using AI, ChatGPT.
mhm,
And then I also build a lot of tools myself, like the VO
mhm.
VO Doc, that website.
Yeah.
So I build out tons of small tools, like because 'cause we're doing a lot of SMS campaigns and now as well, like, we will do some, like, Twilio lookup and
Mhm,
small features. And then also, like, you build a lot of, like, scrape in the email, all this from there are so many tools out there, like Apollo or, like,
mhm,
Clay, all these things. You can get all the data and then, like, combine their database, like, LinkedIn, all different kinds, come up different, like, personalized email, all that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Cool.
a lot of, like, that type of thing. I'm
Mhm,
recently trying to get into, like, the NAN stuff, which is, like, you can build a lot of, like, streamlined workflow. I'm not master yet, but, yeah, that's something I'm trying to actively peek in. But
mhm,
just like in terms of engineering team, all our code has been rewritten by, like, Claude or
mhm, mhm.
so it's, like, easier to add in new features. Yeah, but
Yeah.
those are more just, like, for the feature development. Sometimes I even, like, code in some features with a claw. Yeah, but my background is not technical, so I
Mhm,
just
mhm.
in the future or the next, like, 5 to 10 years, everything's gonna change so much because like, anyone can code,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's crazy how quickly AI is advancing, so I'm always curious how founders and people are utilizing it for their own businesses, but it's cool to see that because 'cause I'm not technical either, and I've played around with it, and it's nice that it's becoming more user-friendly for people who don't have software backgrounds, but
What are you seeing, like, from other people you talk to? What are some ways or tools they're
mhm.
using to do more of, like, outbound or in terms of sales or a different area of application?
Well, so for us, my company, we built like a LinkedIn automation and we're constantly trying to crack LinkedIn because it's kind of in between the cost and the results of cold email, which I
Mhm.
personally hate cold email and I don't believe in it. I know it works for some companies and some industries, but I just don't like it because with cold email, like a good response rate is like 2%, right?
Yeah, yeah, so bad.
I feel like as far as I know, inboxes and things are constantly flagging them more and more. So even if you like warm up the domains and change things around, they're still going to get flagged and sent to
Yeah,
people's spam. So, and then even just the copy that I see when I receive cold email or cold outreach is just terrible. I'm like, if you're going
yeah,
to provide value, don't ask me permission. Don't be like, hey, like,
yeah.
is it okay if I send you this? Just send it to me. Like, you make me more annoyed by reading this email and seeing that
Yeah,
this is such a dumb way of outreach. So, anyways,
yeah,
and then ads, it's like I am not an ads expert, but just from what I know and from people I work with, the algorithm is always changing. Or, Meta,
mhm,
it's become more expensive and you have to spend at least $3,000 a month for at least 3 months to train it and learn and test. And I'm like, that's $9,000. Like, if that doesn't really get you anything, maybe it's hard to justify from my perspective. So right in between that, for LinkedIn, for a lot of businesses that are on LinkedIn, being able to generate warm conversations through automations and the right messaging, and then being able to have a human step in, set the appointment, and close the appointment, like you still need that human touch and that skill to be able to
Yeah.
handle the second part of the process. But for us and for our clients, that's been kind of like a gold mine for us because we can service any business that wants to reach other businesses. We can reach a wide variety of people. So we're not like, I don't know, I guess a traditional marketing agency that serves one niche. But so that's one thing. And then, people are just using like or building their own agents. And I'm hearing more about like Clawbot and these things. But like I'm personally kind of hesitant to give access to all of my passwords and emails and personal information to AI just because I'm kind of am afraid what the capabilities of AI are, but I know people who are using it, as personal assistants or to handle different tasks in their business. But I've also seen people just vibe code custom made platforms or online ticketing platforms for their sales agency or whatever it is. So there's just so much you can do now on your own, which is great. But I love seeing how creative people are getting with the tools.
Yeah, it's like I definitely think of LinkedIn still the best. I mean, for us, like a lot of smaller contractors, they like long tail ones, they don't have a LinkedIn, but like once you
Hmm.
go to the mid size or builders or construction company, they still have. And then I feel like we haven't cracked the code yet, but I feel like we're definitely also interesting to take a look at like what are some potential ways to get into contact with them. We do have like the higher reply rate than email, like, definitely from LinkedIn
Hmm.
than right, email is just, like,
Hmm.
really bad. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of opportunity, but my opinion on sort of any business in general is like you have to be creating content. Like that's one of the reasons why I'm
agree.
creating so much content is because it's not only for, my personal opportunities and speaking engagements or investment opportunities and things like that, but it also helps my business because if people see like, oh, I'm the founder of this business and they're thinking about buying my LinkedIn product, they could see 100, they could actually see like almost 350 videos or something that I've posted by now, right? So they can see who I am, how I interact with people, my level of, articulation and intellect to a certain extent. And now things have changed so much in the last 5 to 10 years that like founders are often influencers, like Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, all these people. They're also like influencers and even celebrities in their own right. So it's changed for better, for worse. I don't necessarily think that's always a good thing, or for people who are more shy in front of the camera, it's not always like easy or fun. But if you can and you're comfortable doing it, I think creating regular content to build your personal brand alongside with building your business's brand can only help you.
Yeah, I agree. So that's why I was like, "Wow, really admire you keep doing this." I 100% agree with what you said, like, this is it's content, like, everything is a content. You need to build more to build up your personal brand. That's how people follow you and things like that.
Mhm.
It's like I'm not so much of like a camera person, but I was still
Mhm.
like managing to hire like someone in Philippines, for example. Basically, like I was just like, okay, just sharing some of the construction tips, keep getting the content somewhere, and then like yeah, and then, like, we actually grow our fan base to, like, 22,000, like, it just in a couple of months,
Wow.
with the consistency. It's all about consistency.
Yeah.
So, a lot of massive content every day, post, like, a lot of things. One of my friend, he's a Danny Wang, he has, like, over 1,000,000 on Instagram, like, he's a
Mhm.
contractor too, so he actually advised us, like, because when I was like, "We don't have any fans," I was like, "Okay, how do we do that?" And then he's like, "Yeah, just need a content." Like, he was able to get all the followers by doing this, like, luxury home because there's super luxury houses, like, no one seen that before. He said that those content get him the follower. But I said, like, "We don't have, that kinda content, right? So what do we do?" I don't know, like, but I think, like, you just need to figure out a way where it can consistently produce that like content over and over and over again, and then eventually you
Yeah.
just attract people. Yeah, so it was like one of the things I think is really great. We hired the video editor in Philippines, which is super affordable compared to the US, and then he just, like, do it all the time, and now we have, like, accumulated more fan base, and we that's why I was like, recently we can build, like, some campaigns to interact with people who interact the page because those
Mhm.
tips, at least it's, like, contractor based, right? Um,
Mhm.
so that was, like, one of the things we're doing now.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like whatever you can do consistently, whether it's low budget or just filming yourself speaking at the camera, as long as you could do that a couple times a week, it can grow quickly. And I think I can't remember I saw you do this already, but one of the things I'm going to be doing more when I do cuz I also want to go to more conferences and in-person events and speak at them and partner with them. But like have a cameraman just follow you around and do mini interviews with like just a little mic and just ask people like you can talk about whatever you want to talk about that's relevant to your industry or your product, but those are great ways to get content. And then the people you talk to will be sharing it on their pages to their audiences too. And that's why podcasting is so great because every time I do a podcast, I get, more followers and engagement from my guests as well. And this is free. I mean, I know your time is valuable, but
Sure, I mean, well, it's all for me, it's also, like, I can see what others people are doing through your eyes, right? Because like, I was like, "Okay, that's very interesting," like, I think it's also very valuable for me to kinda, like, see what's happening out there.
yeah. Yeah, it's been really fun. But I guess just to wrap things up here, what are you most excited about this year?
Work-wise or personal or just in general?
In general, anything.
General, I think, like, 2 things, I would say, like, maybe, like, 1 from work, 1 for personal. Work-wise is, like, we finally, I think has transitioned from, like, that old business model to SaaS model. Because like, when we even though we're trying to shut down the service business, in 2024, we still had some, like, legacy project lingering around, like, earlier this year. So finally we finished everything. Like, it was just a really long process to
Mm.
kinda, like, need to managing your legacy projects, like sunsetting stuff, and also trying to figure out the new business model, how to earn new revenues. This year for us, it's a great like starting point because we have like over 100 like construction paid companies. So the new revenue is like taking up now, and then the older ones like finally we can say bye. So that's a really good starting point for us this year. Another thing I'm excited is like I'm gonna be a mom soon this year. So
Yay!
never done that before. I need to learn how to navigate being a mom and a female, founder.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm so excited for you guys. Oh my gosh, that's
Great.
awesome. Well, we'll have to do another podcast again, maybe in a year and see where everything is there when you
Sounds good. Or the next time when you come to, come to visit San Francisco, we can come to our house. We can do it even like in
Yes.
person one.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do that. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much for joining me here today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mel. Thank you for inviting, and I really excited to see your, podcast business. So happy for you. Keep
Thank
doing
you.
it.
Thank you. And for everyone else, please tune into the next episode of the Breakthrough Blueprint.